Hey, hey, hey! I hope you're having a terrific Tuesday. It's your favorite remote work enthusiast, Delilah, and today I have five hot leads to share with y'all. These are beginner friendly. Some of them you may want to have a little bit more experience, but there's something for everyone at every level. So if you're just starting off, stay tuned. If this isn't your first rodeo, stay tuned. I have something for everybody. So we're gonna get into the details. I have to get through these hot leads so that they don't close on us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that notification bell. That way YouTube tells you every time I post, and I post the hottest work from home jobs and information right here Monday through Friday. So thank you guys for locking it on in. And now that you've taken care of that business, we are ready to jump in. All right, you guys, I've been showering you guys with hot leads. I hope you can appreciate it. And there are even more leads, okay? If you're like, man, Delilah, how do you have all these hot leads to share with us? Extra Leads Club. In fact, all of these leads were featured in Extra Leads Club, and the leads were really good today. They still are really good. So if you're not in Extra Leads Club, please join. Do yourself a favor. It's just $1 during our 7-day trial, and it's just $10 a month. We find all these hot leads for you, make sure that they're legit, give you the links, information, all at a glance in the Extra Leads Club app. When I tell you this is a game changer, okay, this is just an example of what it looks like. This really is a game changer. Anyway, don't believe me, leave the leads for everybody who does believe me. All right. So jumping on in here, the first hot lead that I'm going to share with y'all is from a new to this channel company called Rue Gilt Group. I felt like I had shared them before, but I guess I'm just familiar with them. This company owns a lot of retail companies that we've heard of. Like you see these logos, they got Fendi, YSL, and that looks like Gucci. Okay, they have a lot of brands under this company's like umbrella. And so if you go to their Glassdoor, you can see more information about them. And this is a beginner friendly opportunity I'm going to share. So this one is limited, but we're going to work our way up. And like I said, I have something for everybody. All right, this is for their call center position. And this is for that company that has all those brands under them. So you're kind of working within retail, but from home. You need to make sure that you are in one of the states listed here. So you have to reside in one of the following states. Pause the screen, make sure your state is listed. The pay is $17 per hour. They are open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. So your shift's gonna fall sometime within that time frame. And you only need 1 year of call center experience within the last 5 years. This is the second time in like the last week that I've seen this sort of phrasing pop up. So if you've done any sort of call center work, maybe it was 2020 last time you were on the phones and you want to, do some call center work, you could apply and qualify. So what are you doing? Your primary focus in this role will be interacting with current or prospective members with professionalism and positivity. Primarily, you will be trained to resolve voice and email interactions interchangeably, focused on topics including general member inquiries, returns, tracking orders, and modifying orders. So that's what you're doing. You need a high school diploma, know how to use a computer, contact center experience, knowledge of customer service practices and principles, excellent data entry and typing skills, superior listening, verbal and written communication skills, and able to handle stressful situations. And so that's the opportunity, y'all. And you can see the application, nothing crazy. You can get your application in a jiffy, and you already know we've got you covered with the templates. I highly recommend using the remote resume builder software to get your application in. Go for either customer service 1 or 2, and you are good to go. And when you use those templates, you just want to further customize them with anything that you can. So let's say you're coming from a retail background, okay? I used to work at Kmart and Sears. I have retail experience. So any of the things that they mention that they want you to do, like if you have experience with returns or tracking orders or modifying orders, those are the things that you would want to put on your resume to further customize it. So that's what I mean by add your razzle dazzle. These are already filled out but we always want to slightly, ever so slightly tweak them to make sure that we're speaking directly to the position that we are applying to. So I would use either or, can't go wrong with whichever one. And then I would pair it with the customer service cover letter template and boom, be on my merry way. And you can try it out for just $1 during our 7-day try before you buy trial. And these are ATS optimized templates. People love the software. People get interviews and hired all the time. And I think it's because it's super easy to customize. Like everything is done in the software. You choose your template. It's already filled out. You go into the wizard, you make it your own, you get it downloaded, and you're, on your merry way. So now let's move on to the second hot lead. The second hot lead comes from a company called Talkiatry, and I have shared this company before. This is a healthcare company. You can check out their Glassdoor. They're based out of New York, and they specialize in mental health. They're currently hiring for a service agent, patient care coordinator position. And I have shared this lead before. This was a little while ago, maybe a few months back, something like that. And they are hiring for 2 different shifts. So the successful candidate must be able to work one of the following shifts, either 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern or 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm an early bird, so that would be my favorite shift. And so this opportunity lets us know that the pay for it is going to be $18 per hour. And you also get benefits. Now, what are you doing? Well, hitting the highlights here, you're going to answer incoming inquiries from patients, answer questions, and schedule appointments. And so there's a lot of appointment scheduling going on here. Schedule patient follow-up appointments. You're going to make sure that you're going to reach out to patients who are late to their televisits. Okay, so if you've ever worked in a, maybe like some sort of like medical office, even if you've worked at like the wax place, anything where you are setting appointments, all right, you want to make sure folks show up and you want to make sure that they are on the calendar. So if you're like, hey, this is something I can do, I like this opportunity and I meet the qualifications, because all I want is you to have experience on the phones, doing email or chat-based customer service. They want you to have experience scheduling appointments, but they don't get into how much experience. And then it's nice if you have electronic health record experience, but that is not required. And we already know we got to know how to use Microsoft Office if we are working from home. So if you want to apply to this hot lead, we have an appointment scheduling template that is perfect for this role. If you are someone who's interested, then I would use this appointment scheduling resume template, and then I would just pair it with the accompanying cover letter template and get your application in. All right, be on your merry way. And you can do so for just $1. So now let's move on to the third hot lead. The third hot lead is from a company called ShareCare. I have shared ShareCare so many times. They're based in the A, like me, and they have a lot of employees. People enjoy working here, and they also have really great leads, so I always enjoy sharing them. They are currently hiring for a care partner position. I've never quite shared a role like this, but we know what this kind of job is. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be conducting interviews to ensure caregivers align with CareLinks. That's one of their brands. You want to make sure that they align with that company's values and culture, representing the platform throughout the hiring process. And the pay for this is $18 to $20 per hour. And so you're going to manage and negotiate job offers, provide an engaging and supportive experience for caregivers, partner with CareLinks onboarding specialists, and guide caregivers through platform updates. So if you're like, what are we doing here? Well, you're going to be interviewing caregivers. So this is the company by ShareCare. This is their company called CareLinks, and it's a in-home care company. So you're interviewing the caregivers. So you are looking to make sure that they're vetted, that they're good to, go. And that's who you're interviewing, people who are going to be helping the elderly, the people who are at home who need a caregiver. So that's what you're doing. So if you're someone who kind of has like that HR background, or maybe you have, done something kind of within this, territory, you might be interested. And to qualify, you just need to have strong communication skills, excellent organizational skills, ability to work independently and manage time effectively, strong relationship management skills, empathy and patience to address caregivers' needs, adaptability, at least 1 year experience in customer service, recruitment, account management, or caregiver support is a plus. Okay, nice to have, but you don't have to have it. An ability to maintain confidentiality, and you get great benefits. So I really love this lead because if you're someone who's trying to, get into that sort of field where maybe you're doing interviews, you're kind of doing the HR thing, okay, then you could use this as your foot in the door opportunity. And you can come from a customer service background. They don't tell us years of experience that they want, and they just say 1 year of experience in one of these areas. So if you're like, hey, that's me, Delilah, the apply button is at the top, and we have different templates for you to use. And the template that I would use depends on the background that you're coming from. If you're coming from like a healthcare background, maybe you've worked in, home healthcare or something related to healthcare, the medical field, then you could just use the general healthcare resume template and customize it from there. If you're coming from a customer service background, then you could use, the customer service template. And what you're going to do to customize it is anything that they mention you have experience with. That's what you would want to make sure that you include on your resume. So, choose the template that fits your background and you can customize it from there. And again, it's just $1 to get your application using the software during our 7-day trial. So now let's move on to the fourth hot lead. The fourth hot lead comes from Cigna. Cigna really doesn't need an introduction. I shared a contractor opportunity from them yesterday. We know Cigna. So Cigna is currently hiring for a provider data representative position. And I really love this lead because even though there is some phone involved, it is mostly clerical. So they let us know the pay is going to range somewhere between $18 and $28 per hour. Depends on your experience. You get great benefits. And to qualify, you just need a high school diploma, able to multitask, strong verbal and written communication skills, and no Microsoft Office. So literally everybody qualifies for this job. And like I said, I love this lead because I know a lot of us are trying to get away from like the call center, and we might be working in person in a call center or in food service or retail, and we're like, we want something more office like, well, this is a perfect position. Now, yes, you might have to get on the phone, okay? Based off of what you're doing, which is a lot of data entry, you are also making sure that you're getting these providers and their credentialing squared away. So what you're doing is you're going to be in an entry-level position in dental operations, and you're going to receive requests to add new locations or providers to existing contract arrangements. You're going to coordinate provider enrollment and assist with coordination of meetings with providers or their office staff for training, contracting, and reporting. And so you're going to receive, open, assess, and data entry of incoming mail, email, and fax, outreach to providers or office staff to obtain missing or additional information, pull together new applications, collaborate with internal departments, clerical work, maintain positive relationships. So if you're like, hey, I'm willing to give this a try, I want to give it a go, the apply now button is at the top. And being that this really does not require you to show up with any experience, what I would do in this situation is I would use the template that fits my background and where I can add any experience that I have that would, be relevant to this, I would. So if you're coming from customer service, choose that. If you're coming from a different sort of healthcare background, choose one of our mini healthcare templates. If you're coming from an administrative role, use the administrative coordinator template. The key is you just want to make sure that you let them know I have experience doing any of this stuff that, they list. So maybe you don't have experience doing everything, but maybe you've done, some data entry. Maybe you have done some type of, applications work. Maybe you've worked in, sort of a clerical setting. Anything that you've done, make sure you list it on those templates, and you will be doing yourself a favor. So now let's move on to the fifth and final hot lead. The fifth and final hot lead comes from another healthcare company called CareSource. And I have shared CareSource before. I always enjoy sharing leads from them. Another large company, great reviews. We love it. So jumping into the hot lead, this is for their provider network coordinator 1 position. This is very, very, very similar to the Cigna lead that I just shared. If you like the Cigna lead, you need to apply to this one too, okay? Delilah's telling you to apply to both if you enjoyed the Cigna lead. because these are so similar. Now, you're going to be doing, very, very similar stuff. You're going to be responsible for the integrity of the data in the provider database system. And you're going to be responsible for the integrity of the data in the provider database system, accurately load provider records, ensure all participating providers have successfully completed credentialing and contracting prior to loading, ensure valid documentation is available prior to loading, meet aggressive service level agreements, adhere to requirements, accurately track daily activities, research and resolve provider data inquiries, respond to emails, phone calls, and written requests. So you get the point what you're doing here. Very, very similar. Yes, there is some phone involved, but this is not a call center job. That is the key difference between jobs that involve a phone. Okay, some jobs, yeah, you're gonna use the phone, but it's not a call center job, so you're not always on the phone. And then some jobs, they're gonna be where you're just always on the phone. These two leads that I just shared aren't jobs where the phone is glued to your ear, but you do need to be comfortable using it. And so you just need a high school diploma, associate's degree in a healthcare field is preferred, but not required. And then it says minimum of 2 years of experience in a managed care environment is preferred. So again, not required. And if you have experience using Cactus and Facets, that's preferred but not required. So, these three things are nice to have. They would definitely help you, but you just need this as a minimum to qualify. So if you like this lead, and I almost forgot to mention the pay, they give us this huge range down here, $35,200 to $56,200 per year. Their Glassdoor didn't really give me more clarification, but this is what I will say. If a company tells you that there's a range, they give you a high end and a low end, you can just as easily ask for the high end as you can the low end. The worst case scenario is they say, well, we don't think you have enough experience to qualify for our highest pay, so we might start you off at, I don't know, $48,000 per year. Well, guess what? That's way more than $35,200. So don't think you're doing yourself any favors by asking for the lowest amount. If you're the best person for the role, then of course you would want to get paid the most. And they want to get the best person for the role, and you just want to present yourself in every way that you're the best, and the best ask for the best. So ask for the best because they told you they have it. All right. So that's my little soapbox moment for today. Get your application in, and I would recommend doing the same thing. Okay, whichever resume speaks mostly to your background, I would choose that and customize it from there. And keep in mind, y'all, we have way more resumes than just what's listed here. Yeah, that's a lot listed, but there are a ton more templates in the software. So don't worry if you're like, well, I don't see the template that I really need most. Chances are it's in the software, and if it's not, we make templates all the time. So if you're like, Delilah, I need a base template for such and such, let us know, okay? So get your application ASAP. And we're not done just yet. Remember, join Extra Leads Club for just $1. It's only $10 a month. You will be glad that you joined. We also have a free resource called the Mega List of Jobs on my website, remoteworklife.co. Every time I share a new to this channel company, we add it here. There are 683 companies and counting that we know will hire us to work from home. So come here every time you look for a job. You can search the Mega List for what you're looking for, and we have the link to these companies' careers pages so you can apply safely and securely. And then last but certainly not least, check out my Amazon storefront for all of your work from home equipment needs. If you need a computer, which we all do, Amazon's got the very best deals, and I highly recommend getting your computer from Amazon. I've purchased many from Amazon. They have packages under $200, whether you're looking for a dual monitor hookup or just a single monitor hookup. Can't go wrong. So check out my Amazon storefront. Check out the Mega List of Jobs. Join Extra Leads Club for more work from home opportunities sent directly to you via the Extra Leads Club app, and get your application in using the Remote Resume Builder software. It's only $37 per month after the trial. You can use all the templates, make all the resumes you want. There is no cap. So check it out, and thank you guys so much for watching. I truly hope this has been helpful, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.